All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate it as always. I don't know, man. It's like every day I tell myself, I'm gonna take it easy, I'm gonna relax, but every day is a busy day, man. For the last, I don't know, a couple weeks now. But Loretta, Prep to Adapt, thank you for the 5x5. Uptech, Ozark, Base, thank you for the 5x5. Skydive, what's going on? Wallace, Karen, Little, WTC, Christian, Raccoon, Bushpick, thank you for the 5x5. Jason, Ohio, let's go. Ariani, 44, thank you for the 5x5. Johnny, Eric, Black Master Blaster, Chanel, Kathy, thank you for the 5x5. Jeep Girl, Blackjack, Mr. Landfill, Ekte, Carl, thank you for the 5x5. Engine 1142, thank you for the 25. Mars, Maria, Nancy, Paula, Gonzo, thank you for the 5x5. SR, Lori, Comet Moon, thank you for the 5x5. Devil Dog Prepper, Adam, Mr. Action, thank you for the 5x5. And I don't know what that one is. Vestabani, Vespinky, whatever, thank you for the 5x5. Dog, Jas, and Northern Hillbilly, thank you for the 5x5. All right, guys. So, as always, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. So, today, we're going to talk about the obvious. It's all over the internet. I can't get away from it, so I might as well talk about it. You know what I can't get away from? The Blue Origin. There's so much more shit coming out about it. It's insane. And I'm still trying to figure out what was the idea behind launching a bunch of chicks into space and then what? So, I mean, you go on Instagram right now and you just type it in once, you're going to get it for the next week. All of these videos coming out and guys are like, I captured this, I saw that. You didn't see that shit. Somebody else pointed it out and now you're pointing it out and trying to pass it off as if you caught it. You didn't. You fucking liars. Anyway, a lot of them are capturing or rather pointing out a lot of shit. Now the door thing, again, that goes without saying. There's a lot of that. We all know the door part is bullshit, but someone pointed out a mannequin hand inside the shuttle, and I was like, and they were gonna say that was Gail King. They're like, yeah, it was Gail's hand. Her hand looked like a fucking statue in the window. Whatever, man. It was full of shit. It's chicks in space. So of course, next time send cute ones. No. How about we don't send anybody? And Gourmet on the budget said marketing. Marketing for what though? Like, I mean, what were they selling? Weaves? Breast implants? Like, what were they selling? They didn't. Amazon stock? It was retarded. I just don't understand the whole ideology behind it. Like, people like distraction. From what? There was nothing to be distracted about. And not for nothing, a lot of us can walk and chew gum at the same time. So it wasn't distraction. Chicks in Space. Wasn't that a porno movie? Charles, I'm pretty sure it was. Right? I'm pretty sure it was a porno movie. But that's not the movie you want with those chicks. Not at all. That's called a fucking Nightmare in Space or some shit, right? Because those chicks are just... And imagine being in a shuttle with those chicks just nagging and screaming and carrying on. You would want to open up the hatch while it's in space. Just blow them all out of the airlock, because fuck that. But, yeah, it's... oops, they didn't... You're right, they didn't go in space. I'm sorry. And now they're saying that they were in... there was a term they were using. They weren't even in outer space. NASA had to address that they're not astronauts because they're trying to claim to be astronauts. They're just, fucking, we've been to space. No, you're not an astronaut. You're not a fucking astronaut. Like somebody just said, if you're an astronaut, I'm a fucking gynecologist. Right? Because I dealt with women in the past. Right? I fixed an electrical outlet. Now I'm an electrician. Like they went up on a ride, they floated around, supposedly they floated around, and then they came back down. And the shuttle was untouched. Perfectly white shuttle. There wasn't even any dust on it. Like that was... I don't want to get into it because it's just going to lead me down a fucking path of hate that I'm starting to... Yes, Astronaut. Like Nike's one, Iconic Child. That was good. Exactly. Fucking astronauts. Fucking astral whores. Astronauts. They didn't do anything. Like, you're trying to sit there and tell me you went to space for 11 minutes and came back down, and you should have the title bestowed upon you as astronaut? Get the fuck out of here. Guess what, man? I fixed the wound on my finger. I'm a trauma surgeon. And even NASA's like, we're not going to give these knuckleheads a fucking, the title astronaut. Now, they did have an astronaut with them. One of the chicks was an astronaut, not an astrophysicist, an astronaut. Or at least she worked at NASA, something like that. But that was about as close as an astronaut they ever going to get, sitting next to that lady. Everybody else, someone just Googled it and said it was a porno movie with Ron Jeremy. Nice job, Charles. This is exactly what I wanted you to do today. Look that bullshit up. But, yeah, man, it's space tourism. And Kathy, that's next. Space tourism is next, obviously, right? If you look at the history of humans, we've made everything into tourism, right? Whether that's cave diving now, skiing, right? Not spelunking, mountain climbing. What is that? Mount Everest now is like a tourist attraction, right? Everything is a tourist attraction, or just about everything, right? And so they're gonna make space the next thing, and then they got underwater, like deep sea diving kind of shit, and they have that submarine that goes partially under, and then they have the submarines that go down at the Titanic. Everything's a tourist attraction, but space is probably going to be just as dangerous as going down to see the Titanic. You saw what happened to those dudes in that, what the hell was it called? The submersible that went down to the Titanic and just fucking like that, gone. Right? I don't know, man. Just trying to sit there and say that you're an astronaut. And then Gayle King had an interview. She's like, go to space and then you could talk to us. What? You're already rich. You either paid for it or have Jeff Bezos paid for it. Nonetheless, none of those women deserve to be on that rocket ship to shoot into space and then try to call themselves an astronaut. They could suck a dick 8 ways to Sunday. They could suck it from the back. They could suck it on the side. They could do all of it. They could rub it on their face. They're assholes. Because there's no way that they should be Ocean Gate. Thank you, Burrow. Ocean Gate. And I'm still fascinated with the Ocean Gate incident. Like, the way they died like, they didn't even see it coming. If they heard the crack in the hull, that was the last thing they heard. And then it was lights out immediately. Felt no pain. Their brain probably could not figure out what was going on. So their consciousness is probably, or was still alive for a little bit, trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. And they were in complete darkness at that, so. But, the whole space thing was fake. And then they're pointing out so many fake things. It's just like, and they're still trying, and these women are still trying to push this bullshit. They're like, we were in space. We were really up there. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. And their hair wasn't floating properly. Again, like I said before, no helmets. It was a mess. And the proof, what? It was just dumb. Stupid morons. And people like, they went to space. I watched the video. Okay. I got a bridge to say with a pot of gold underneath. You believe that bullshit? And people like, it was a blue party orgy. I don't give a fuck what it was. Nobody's interested. I know where this is going. And mark my words, somebody is going to use Blue Origin to film some bullshit on there. I'm telling you right now. I could see it. Oh my God. It's ripe for the making. All of it is. You know that like I said, that cave dive, not the cave diving, the shit where they crawl in caves and they go through gaps like this and they squeeze through. Get the fuck out. You can keep that shit too. That is white people shit. That is the whitest fucking thing you could do on this planet. Squeezing through a fucking hole this big and then wiggling your way for fucking a football field length, 100 yards, wiggling your way in and going, oh my God, I'm stuck. No shit, you're stuck. You're in a fucking cave hole this big. And you're wiggling your way like a fucking worm. And then you get stuck in there and you go, oh no. You better fucking believe, oh no. Yo, I'm telling you, that is the most high white people shit in the world, doing that shit. Like, even Ethiopians, like Mobutu could do it, because he's all starving and shit and skinny. He could probably wiggle his way in with no problem. But still, not spelunking. Spelunking is when you use, when you're going underwater. I'm talking about guys who do the cave shit, no water. They're just fucking wiggling their way through and going, oh my God, I'm stuck. He goes, I'm white, but I ain't that stupid. Yo, that is the... I watched the videos and I go, holy shit. I get claustrophobic watching those videos. The guy's like, one guy's like, he stops, he's like, oh my God, I can't move. I'm like, is he building the suspense or is he stuck? Anyway, fucking, and then he goes, and then he wiggles a little bit. Oh God, I'm free. I can breathe again. I'm like, but you're a fucking moron. Why would you do that? Why would you purposely put yourself in a shitty position? Yes, I put myself in a shitty position because it's my job and it's fun. And there's often a way out of that situation. When you're in that, like there was one guy who did it and he crawled in and he fell in head first. And he got stuck. And they tried everything under the sun to get him out and then they just couldn't. And he was stuck like this, head first, for over like 8-9 hours. I think he ultimately wound up dying. He suffocated. And they closed up the tunnel. So his fucking body's still in there, and they closed it up. And he made a wrong turn. He was supposed to go up. It was like a breakaway, right? So the breakaway went up and then down. Instead of going up, he went down. And at up, he was able to find a cavern where he could turn around and then do that bullshit all over again. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Why would you do that? It was dumb. So anyway, my son jumped out of a plane and didn't tell me. See, like I would skydive. Again, that's white people shit, but I would do that. That's fun, you know. But because I'm not claustrophobic, I'm air. There's air around me. There's fucking open, you know. I got a bunch of it's spelunking. Someone said it's spelunking. Is it spelunking? I thought spelunking is when you went underwater with a air tank and then you're let's look it up because I don't believe you. Hold on. Someone just wrote it. See if I can't spell it because oh, here we go. Spelunking. Spelunking. Underground caverns, caves. All right. It's also called caving. All right. What is spelunking? Spelunking is known as caving. Is not for the timid. Increasingly popular. It's a sport. Often asks you to walk, climb, crawl blindly into the darkness with only a headlamp and spiders and bats for company. All right, so you are right, Johnny Highwoods. It's spelunking. So then what's cave diving? I thought cave diving was spelunking. What does spelunking mean? No, forget it. I'm not going to entertain that one. Spelunking versus cave diving. Seemingly one and the same. No shit. All right. I didn't know that. I thought spelunking was cave diving and then caving was just that. But anyway, Mobutu would be good at spelunking. Or cave crawling or caving. Caving. Sounds weird. Sounds stupid. Whether you're spelunking in a tourist cave or caving, they're using one and the same. Whatever. Again, white people shit. They can keep it. And then one guy was like, I can't breathe. I can't. The walls on his chest is like, I can't breathe. And then like, wiggle a little more. And he wiggles a little. I shit you not. He wiggles a little more. And then the ledge breaks his, doesn't break it, but he reveals his chest and then he can breathe again. I'm like, why the fuck? You wear a helmet. Okay. These guys, a couple of the guys I watched didn't have helmets on. One guy did, but then he had to take his helmet off and shoot it through first and then wiggle his way in. I'm like, keep it to yourself. Keep that bullshit to yourself. Skydiving, fine. The cave diving one is weird, where you wear the tanks in and you're swimming under the... fuck out of here. Keep that shit to yourself. Like, I don't need that. Use caving in a sentence. The walls are caving in on me. Anyway, why are we talking about this? My claustrophobia is about to give me an episode. Sorry. It keeps popping up on on Instagram and YouTube, and I keep watching, and I get suckered into it. Because I watch the guy, he's all stuck in shit like a scarecrow, and then you watch it, because you're like, let's see what happens. And then they make it, because I think they're trying to get us. But again, there was a couple of stories where people didn't make it back out, right? So, and then there was one where a guy made it out, but I think he had that crush injury because he squeezed his way through so many spots. He wound up doing something with his blood or his heart or some shit. And when he made it out, he died. But I thought that was weird. Brown sharks are in the cave. I don't know what the fuck that is. Bungee jumping is dumb. Psoriasis? It's not psoriasis, but yeah. Bungee jumping, a quick story. There was a woman who went bungee jumping last year or maybe 2 years ago. And she was with her boyfriend on one platform, and then she was on this platform. There was a guy in the middle between the both of them, and he hooks the boyfriend in. The girlfriend's not hooked in. You know where this story's going. Saoirse. All right, thank you, Saoirse. And the boyfriend's hooked in. The girl's not hooked in. The girlfriend is behind the guy who hooks the boyfriend in, and she's like, and then the guy goes, jump. Oh, no, he goes, go. The boyfriend doesn't go because he hesitates. The girlfriend, right off the ledge, onto the ground. She hyped herself up. She heard go, and she jumped off the fucking ledge. And she didn't make it. Right? So, Pebbles Beach Life was like, the topic is the Pope and the end of the world, actual discussion, astronauts and spelunking. Because this is a live stream, Pebbles Beach, if you're new to this, shit goes all over the place. I never follow the schedule. Like, almost never. Sometimes I stay true to it, sometimes I don't. And other times I'm all off the fucking rails. But anyway, yeah, so she wound up fucking, yeah, that sucked. Yeah, right, someone's like, oh, wow. Imagine watching your girlfriend go, holy shit, like she wasn't tied in. She fucking right off. And you watch the video and you're like, holy shit. Like the guy she should not have been on the platform. I think they were supposed to do it together, but they wind up not trying to jump at the same time, and she should not have been on the platform when that went down. She should have still been up top and waited till she jumped off and then. But whatever. Screw that too. Tommy Ware says it's real here. Yeah, man. What you call it? Beach, whatever, a Betty Beach or a Beach Betty. She's probably off now. It's like, fuck this channel. Skydiving and your parachute not opening. Well, yeah. Now you got a few seconds to think about all the shit you did wrong right before you hit the ground. Or you can do it over water, like in Point Break, and hopefully you survive. There is that. I'm not doing. Yeah, listen. I when you see people do that shit, you're like, that's the no, big fat no. There's no reason to do that. Anyway, so let's get on with the subject tonight. Not minding my business and reading the chat like an idiot. So tonight on the Angry Truth channel, we're going to talk about how we've been played. And I'm going to go over some of the things that I've said before and other things that we have not discussed. My skydive, yes, your reserve chute would open, but that one kid that got wrapped in his chute and then cut himself out and his reserve opened, that was fucked. That's the kind of shit people talk about. Like, you watch that video, that was intense. Most intense shit I've ever seen. Anyway, so guys, before Betty Beach Goer or whatever her name is, completely ignores me, we're going to talk about the Pope and the end of the world. And the reason why we're talking about the Pope and the end of the world is because everybody on the internet is talking about it as if they are a papal scholar, a papacy scholar, whatever you want to call it. Everybody thinks they're a scholar. I am not. I'm just looking up information and talking about it again. That's all. Some of these people are trying to make it sound like they knew this shit no, you didn't. You did not. You didn't know anything about the papacy and none of that shit. But there are a lot of people trying to come across like they knew it already. The fuck out of here. You fucking like, oh, you didn't know that the Pope... Shut up. You fucking just learned this shit on Wikipedia and the conspiracy theory Wikipedia site. That's where you got it. Right, prophets, papal scholar, you name it, papacy, the Pope scholar, the fucking, the Vatican, whatever. These people trying to come off like they're like, whatever, eating dicks. So, anyway, Pope Francis, who just passed away yesterday, was the 266th Pope. If I'm not mistaken, he was the first Pope from the Society of Jesus, the first of the Latin American identity. I don't know what the hell that means, and the first from Americas. I think he was born in 1937 or some shit like that, right? Was it 1937? He was old, right? It was 1937 to 1937. I think he was born. But anyway, the death of Pope Francis, 88. The cause of his death was confirmed to be cerebral stroke, leading to a coma, and then subsequent heart failure. Now, I have to talk about this now because I don't want to talk about this later, but everybody's trying to connect the J.D. Vance bullshit. And listen, I don't know. J.D. Vance was not the last person to touch him. Not the last person. Everybody's like, he was the last person to shake his hand. No, he wasn't. The Pope is touched by probably 50 people a day, helping him up, helping him in bed, helping him out of bed, helping him in the chair. Being that he was also in a coma, he probably had, let's just say, maybe 10 to 20 people around him, right? So, J.D. Vance, and then some people said he was a Jesuit, part of a Jesuit society or some shit like that. I heard of that years ago as a kid. I never bothered looking into it, but I did look up some shit on it, and if I'm not mistaken, they originated in the European culture. Let's see. It's in addition to the Freemason, a secret society had a second organizational model, the Jesuit order, excuse me. Right at the beginning of the 1540, the Jesuits caused suspicions even amongst, I don't know what that is, and were accused of hypocrisy, fanaticism, and ambitions. As missionary soldiers of the Pope, they became a symbol of supranational, not natural, pretension of the Catholic Church. Don't know what any of that means. And some of them had one time defended tyrannicide, and the violent death of any prince was invariably laid to their feet, at their feet. Some people are saying that he is part of that society. I doubt it very much. This sounds like a fucking group of, at least back in the days, a kick-ass group of dudes who, for good, bad, or indifference, did what they did. I doubt very much J.D. Vance is a part of that society. But whatever. I keep hearing that, and I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, could J.D. Vance shook his hand and did some shit? Who knows? Let's see. There is one more. Okay, so the whole thing with the Pope is that there is one more spot left in the St. Paul Basilica, right? There's one more placement circle left. It's the last one. And supposedly, once that Pope fulfills that last circle, all hell starts breaking loose in the next 2 years. Again, that's the theory. So, there is one more phrase left, and it reads, and this is the last spot that's left, in the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will reign Peter the Roman, who will feed his flocks amid many tribulations, after which the seven-hilled city, will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge the people. The end. Now, the seven-hilled city is known as the Vatican. So they're saying that the Vatican is going to be destroyed. At the very least, the next Pope destroys the Vatican. Who knows? Apparently, like I said before, Rome, known as the seventh hill city, will be destroyed, and there will be judgment upon that city, and the apocalypse will happen, and we will all go to hell in a handbasket. Or some of us will go to hell. Who knows? Pope Jason, we need an angry Pope. Yeah, right. Imagine. You know, one thing I am fascinated about is the whole conclave of them picking the new Pope. That, to me, I'm fascinated with it. I'm fascinated with the whole process. The the way they all get dressed up, they put on their garment, they take fucking an hour and a half to put all that shit on. They get little gold, rings and shit and staffs, and they do the hokey pokey, and they turn themselves around, and then they pick a new pope. But in picking a new pope, I didn't know it was a political game to get picked as a pope. I really didn't. I thought the next pope being picked was somebody godly that did the right things, and it wasn't this political mumbo jumbo. I really didn't know that. So when I found that out, that it was a very political thing, I was a little disappointed. Especially when I found this out when I was younger. I was a little disappointed. I was like, really? Even there, they let politics plays everywhere. Everywhere. Even there. So they have, 4 guys up for popehood? Papacy? They got 4 guys or 5 guys. One's, I think, Asian looking, and another guy is black. And the black guy looks like he's ready to die any day now. So maybe not him, But, yeah, so he's up Pope Rosie O'Donnell. Imagine. God, man. Yeah, it's a very political, this guy does that. He believes in this order. He's part of that order. This guy did this a few years ago. We didn't like when he had that church and he said this. It's that kind of shit. It's weird, man. Very weird. And that's why when they picked this Pope Francis, I was a little surprised. After learning how political it was, this guy was like the woke Pope. And man, did it backfire on him. I mean, people were like, gays were like, oh, he loves us. Well, not really, but again, don't want to get into it. So, let's get into the theory. So, in the theory, guys, there's a book called The Prophecy of the Pope, dating back to 1143. This is the book. No, wait, the book was found in 14-something. But the book dates back to 1143. I think that's when the first pope was established. So the book prophesies every pope leading up to the current one, the one Pope Francis that just died. Supposedly the next pope is supposed to be the pope that starts the apocalypse. The world doesn't end. The apocalypse starts. Who knows? There is no date given, so keep that in mind. Normally they give us a date. Look up the Jesuit. Oh. Now, Terry? I want to look it up now. But might as well. Oh shit, it popped right away too. The Jesuit, which was last year. And keep this, here's another thing too, guys. Keep this shit in mind. They started talking about the apocalypse, and they were warning us about the last pope and how the last pope was going to start the apocalypse. They started warning us early this year. Around January, February, articles started popping up about the last pope and the end of time and all this other bullshit. Just as he started getting sick. And then he, at least to us, unexpectedly died. Now, was I surprised that he passed away? Absolutely not. He's old. These guys can pass away at any given day. So it's not the end of the world. The black guy, I believe, is 78. That's still old. That is still old. He looked like he's 88, but all right. No, he's 79. Now they're going to get into argument about his age. Anyway, not the point. It is said that the apocalypse will begin in 2027. So whoever they pick, and guys, it could take a long while before they pick a pope, right? So this process could take anywhere between a day to 2-3 weeks, longer, until they find the right one. So when they start picking them out, people are going to be glued to their TV set, trying to figure out who they want as pope, right? And they pick. We don't pick. They don't pick over there. Excuse me. Why are these popes so old? Water Tiger, they are old because it comes with the job. It's the ranking system that they have in play, and it takes a while to get there. And to know everything there is to know about popehood, if that's a thing, it takes a while. A good seasoned, and I hate to say it that way, a good seasoned religious man takes years to get there. Like, you got these pastors who are fairly young, and any pastor under the age of 40, I raise an eyebrow to. I mean, once you're in your 40s, or you've been studying it, maybe since you were a kid, there's still things that come with age. And pulphood, a lot of it comes with age. You don't want some fucking 20-year-old pope fucking rocking out and like, yeah, God, yeah, I got you. You don't want that, you know? You want somebody, and it just comes with the age. It's like being president of the United States. A lot of shit comes with age. You don't want some young asshole in there fucking, this bullshit or that shit in the fucking Vatican, because I could see that happening. But anyway, so like I said, the apocalypse began, and even John Pope the 23rd, Pope John the 23rd, excuse me, states that the world would end in 2027. But he put it as 2,000 year plus Christ age, or years, plus Christ year. And that was, thank you, Restored Justice. Now, I looked up Restored Justice, thank you for bringing it up. That would be 2033 then, not 2027. And even then, Christ dying at 33, the number is up in the air. I read 32, 33, 39. As late as 39, but not 40. Everybody agrees to that he wasn't 40, but he was anywhere between 33 and 39 when he passed away. Or when he was killed, excuse me. Right? So, even then the year's off. So, I found this part to be very interesting. Matthew 24:36 reads, "But of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father alone." So, no time and date, just a year. It can happen anytime that year. The world can come crashing to an end, or the apocalypse could start as soon as this guy's pick, leading up to 2027. But again, we don't know. And supposedly it's a sudden event. It's one of those things that happens out of nowhere. But that is the rumor. So I have no clue. So I have no clue as to when it's going to start. None of us do. And I said this before, guys. The end of the world doesn't come with a date. The end of the world happens when it happens. We are not going to know, but the Father alone will. That's who knows. Everybody else in between, who tells you the exact date, they're fooling you. They're full of shit. I don't know about the third secret of Fatima. I have no clue what that is. Listen, guys, a lot of this shit's still new to me. So, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know any of this shit. I don't. I research it. I read it back to you guys. And either you guys are going to correct me, or you guys are going to be like I'm on the right track. There are a lot of people out there that are trying to pass off this shit they just learned as if they knew it. Now, I do find this one thing interesting, guys. So now bear with me. World Economic Forum Chairman Klaus Schwab just retired yesterday. Now, keep in mind, early this year, he stated that he wasn't going to quit or resign to 2027. 2027 is coincidentally the same year the world supposedly comes to an end. But he retired sooner than that. Yeah, listen, the world's supposed to end 1,000,000 times. And Klaus Schwab resigning or stepping down suddenly as the Pope died, even though his time of resigning matched with the same year as the apocalypse, but then this Pope passes away and then he resigns the same day. That's not a coincidence. That I'm not gonna look at the coincidence. Now, what would be the reasoning for that? I don't know. Someone said they forced him out. The same day the fucking Pope dies? It's a little on the nose. Now, Johnny 308, you could be right. I don't know. If that's the excuse they're giving, again, it's the World Economic Forum. They lie about everything. Northern Hillbilly. I did not see Klaus Schwab's replacement. Is it worse or better? There's no such thing as better. There really isn't. It's worse. George Soros supposedly retired too. Interesting. Someone said, does the Pope get 100 little boys in heaven? I don't know. Even Satan needs a sabbatical. It was 111 days of the year. Worse. Okay. All right. Thank you for answering that. Worse. Everybody's like, worse. Worse. Way worse. Who is it? Can you guys stop fucking with this mystery bullshit and leave the name so I can look it up? Guys like, worse. What are you? Can you fucking fill me on the worse? Holy shit. You guys are worse. Not fucking filling me on the name. Anyway, with that being said, guys, so now, uncovered 900-year-old secret Vatican book predicts when Judgment Day will come. A 900-year-old manuscript discovered in the Vatican's secret art. First of all, nothing is discovered in the Vatican. It's there. Somebody released it. Somebody found the book and go, whoa, we got to fucking get this out there. That's what they did. None of this shit's a secret. The manuscript wasn't discovered. It's always been there. They got, from what I've heard about the Vatican and their vault, they got some intricate filing system. Like some bizarre shit. Like a guy can go there, give a number, 1348, and this dude will take him to 1348. Now keep in mind, the Vatican vault is vast. It needs a vehicle of some kind to get there, like a golf cart to get like to where you need to go. And in some cases, an actual car, like a vehicle under there. It might be electric now because it's in a cave or underground. But it's the most intricate system and grid and laid out like you've ever seen. It's fucking, and this is coming from people who've seen it. And not many people get to see it. So keep that in mind. All right. So the archive allegedly predicts the year of Judgment Day and has the eerie link to Pope Francis's health battles. The day of reckoning, according to the Bible, is when Jesus is said to return to earth to decide who will be saved and who will be condemned. With a saint predicting this event will take place in 2027. This is why a lot of people probably have that off feeling, that bad feeling that's coming. An e-bike. Yeah, maybe. And so maybe that's the off feeling. This could be it. Who knows? You selling shirts? No, I'm not selling shirts anymore. Thank you for reminding me. I got to get those links down from the site because the people I were using, they just suck. Also, if you didn't receive a t-shirt, please email me at angryprepper@yahoo.com. I tried to get in contact with the company. I haven't heard back from them, but I'm going to keep breaking their balls till I get a fucking answer back. Then I'm going to start something new, but I was talking to a guy about selling t-shirts. I got to get back to him. Anyway, the book discovered over 400 years ago has come back into spotlight as Pope Francis, age 88, experienced 2 bouts of respiratory distress due to a significant buildup of mucus in his lungs and bronchial spasms. He has been hospitalized for more than a fortnight? All right. What does fortnight mean? Can someone please fill me in? I have seen that before. I forgot what it was. Anyway, the book containing 112 brief and cryptic phrases was unearthed back in 1595. That's where it was. By Arnold Wion, a Benedictine monk who professed to have found Malachi's writing in the Vatican archive. The book's final passage reads, "In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will reign Peter the Roman," I read this earlier, "who will feed his flock amid many tribulations, after which the 7-hilled city will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge the people the end." Some interpret this prophecy as Peter becoming the Pope during Francis' chronic lung disease, while others believe Malachi has implied Francis would be the last. A documentary released in 2024 suggests that the latter is more likely due to the passage attributed to Pope Sixtus V, from 1585 that reads, "Axles in the midst of a sign, Pope Sixtus V assumes leadership 442 years after the first leader, and with the text suggesting he is the middle of the prophecy, and the end of the world would become 442 years later, which is 2027. This is a lot, and I don't like any of it because they're throwing words and shit at me I just don't know. Did you guys answer? What was it? When a year is faster. Let's see. Benedict Arnold, James Bond special, different. It's a Dickfur? Are you fucking with me? 14 nights. Okay, thank you, Tom Weary. 14 days, 2 weeks, 14 nights, 2 weeks. Thank you, guys. That's interesting. Sarah for Pope. Imagine they put it. Well, no, they couldn't. Right? They couldn't put a female in. Too many Peters happening. Yeah, go figure. Despite many academics arguing that the text is a forgery from the 16th century, it's believed that Malachi penned the prophecy of the Pope in 1139 after having a vision during a trip to Rome. Prior to this colonization, Saint Malachi was an Irish archbishop who was drunk all the time, renowned for his religious reform, notably aligned with the Irish Church for closely with the Roman practices. Okay, whatever. It's Malachi prophet. Malachi or Malachi? It's the Malachi prophecies. Do I have to look that up too? I really don't want to. Would be Pope Pookie. Yeah, the Black Pope, I don't know if he's going to happen, because I thought there was one before, and they didn't go that route. And I don't think they're going to go that route again, or pick him this time around. We shall see. AI timing perfectly in here. Is AI active in here? Because they're probably going to shut me down. It's all ritualistic. Okay, all right. Yeah, Wanda, I kept hearing that too, that the next Pope would be black, but we'll see. We got to wait and see. That's all we can do. All we can do is wait and see what's going to happen next. Listen, for everybody who's starting to panic over this shit, and there's some people who are a little nervous or freaked out about this, there ain't shit we can do about it. If this is written, this is going to happen. It's Malachi, not Malachi. All right. Not malarkey, malarkey, right? Apples to fucking, what is it? Tomatoes, tomatoes, same difference. Black could mean dark pope, meaning evil. That would make sense. No, I mean, there are people who are like, this is freaky, man. Did you hear Pope just died and da-da-da? I'm like, well, why? Why are we doing this? There's no need to panic, guys. And again, I know that you guys are not panicking, but there are fucking some bitch-ass people out there panicking. I mean, like, not panicking, but they're just like, they're nervous. They're watching this closely. They don't know what to do. I'm like, just fucking act accordingly. That's what you do. That's all we do. Listen, if the way it's written, it seems like the next pope is going to come in and the world's just going to turn off. That's how it's been written. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm like, whatever. Whatever happens, happens, guys. But if the world does end, it was nice knowing you. It's nice knowing you guys. I'm going to go cave diving or spelunking or caving or getting jammed in between a rock. Because at this point, what else is there left to do? People are constantly trying to scare the masses. That's all they're doing. They're warning us every day about some new bullshit that's popping up. The Pope passing away. Everybody's starting to get nervous because what if this is the last Pope? And what if the next one fulfills the prophecy of the apocalypse? We don't know. We were supposed to end back in 2012 in December, right? Remember the world was supposed to end? The calendar was supposed to end that day, and it was all going to be over. And everybody, not everybody, a lot of people were flipping out about that. Don't be a fake Christian. Well, Northern Hillbilly. There's a lot of fake Christians. There's a lot of frauds out there. So that's in itself. They're going to find out really fucking fast who they are. Start skydiving as a hobby. Roger that. Major forest fire just broke out in Jersey. Southern New Jersey. Of course, it's fucking opening. Wow, where town, New Jersey? Wow, that's fucking huge. No kidding. Residents nearby towns scramble to evacuate while numerous law enforcement and emergency agencies respond to a rapidly spreading wildfire near the North Shores. Okay, that's going to burn out fairly quick. The blaze was forced officials to order evacuation and shut down portion of the Garden State Parkway, particularly near Ware Town and Forked River, New Jersey. More than 13,000 people are currently without power. Thick smoke, towering flames are visible miles away and scorched over 3,200 acres and remains 5% contained. Remaining 5% contained means they don't have shit. They don't have anything on it. That is fucking big. Wow. That's impressive. That's super impressive, actually. No kidding. All right. There's wildfires in New Jersey. But that's south, so that's pointing in that direction. I won't be able to see anything tonight, but if it's going tomorrow morning, I'll be able to see the smoke from where I live. So, yeah. I need a pipe. Anyone else sick as a dog? Firefly Farms is asking. Forked River? Forked River. Not Forked River? Forked River? What is it with these pronunciations? I mean, like, listen. I learned English and it says Forked ED. Forked. And it's pronounced Forked River. These people. Like, it's like Prescott, Arizona. It's not Prescott, it's Prescott. Where the fuck does it say Prescott? God forbid you pronounce it Prescott. They run after you with pitchforks over there in Arizona. Go say fucking Prescott and Prescott and watch the reaction you get from people. It's like Jeb, right? It's J-E-B or some shit like that. You say Jeb, they get bent out of shape. Oh, you can't say that here. Why? You gonna fucking tie a noose around my neck and hang me? Fucking like, it's like Houston Street. It's Houston. It's Houston Street. But the people here pronounce it as Houston. Stop eating slimy chicken, people. Stop eating slimy chicken, people. Put a fucking comma in there, Bobby. It sounds like you're telling people stop eating slimy chicken, people. Cooked chicken longers, lady. Yeah. Forked tongue. Someone says Prescott. Someone said I was in Prescott, and I said Prescott, and they go, it's Prescott. I'm like, where the fuck did you see Prescott? I was in Arizona when I had this conversation. I was at the firefighters that passed away in Arizona. The mountain guys. What the fuck were they called? But, yeah, so I went to their funeral, and we were in Prescott drinking, and I said something Prescott, and the lady's head snapped around like the Exorcist. It was like, it's Prescott. I'm like, I'm from fucking New York. I say what I want to say. So that turned into like a discussion. Well, you know, when you're in different places, you just say it appropriately. Why don't you appropriately place my dick in your mouth? How about that? You know, like fucking Prescott. I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like we got into this. It was just the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest argument to have. Like it's Spokane or Spokane. I said Spokane, and someone says it's Spokane. I'm like, seriously, we're having this fucking discussion. Solar flares causing a lot of body pain. That is definitely, yes, the Hot Shots, Water Tiger. What the fuck was the name of those guys in Arizona that passed away? I'm going to get it before you do, Hot Shots. And they were fighting that died. Wow. I didn't even, and it just popped up. That was 2013. 19 of Granite Mountain. It's the Granite Mountain guys. It was 19 of them that passed away. Like I said, we went to their funeral, and the survivor of the Granite Mountain spoke at the funeral, and then they did a movie on it. And anyway, and it was interesting going out there to that kind of a funeral. 19 guys. 19 guys is a lot. Like 343 guys. That's a lot of dudes. But there was 19, and it was more of a memorial because I don't think they had the 19 caskets there. I doubt it. They had their pictures there. But yeah. Yeah, it was Yarnell Hill Fires, right? But it was Granite Mountain. Thank you, Johnny 308. Appreciate it. Look up the KFC commercial. Oklahoma is pronounced Joklahoma. Very good. Brisket, Arizona. I lost a family friend that day. So, Mitch B, sorry to hear that. Kurt, what happened to them? They died. They died in the fire. They got caught in a firestorm. Fire was coming off the ridge, and then they had another fire was blocking them from escaping. And they had a fire coming down off the ridge, and they hunkered down. They got into their protective coating. It was an emergency shelter that they get in, and they got in that, and they fucking roasted to death. They all burned alive. Now, some people will argue that the air, oxygen was sucked out of there, and they died from that, the lack of oxygen, and then they burned. But their shelters were burned like all the way through. But yeah, and when the kid tells the story, he was on a ridge and he can see them hunkering down, and he had binoculars and he could watch this shit. In the movie, the kid is listening to the radio as they pass away. But when we listened to this kid talk, he said he was on the next ridge over and he watched the fire fucking come down on him, and then that was it. He said he could watch them getting prepared to get in their shelters, and then yeah, that was it, man. Fucking, and the fire, normally blows over them pretty fast, but in this case it didn't, and it was fucking hot as hell. So. My parents lost their home in that fire. California, more like corrupt. California? I don't get that. But anyway, spoke on. But yeah, so anyway, that was, and it was an interesting funeral to go to. That's all. It was just a lot of people there. It was a stadium. They had the entire Granite Mountain, I guess the hot shots there, their family, like everybody was there. It was fucking huge. They had bagpipers from all over America show up, and I think there was a bagpiping group from Spain or some shit like that. But they came from all over. It's one of those experiences that you don't need to experience, but if you're a firefighter, you should go to one of those. It's Louisville, Kentucky, right? It's not Louisville. I said Louisville as a kid, and my father was like, "It's Louisville." I'm like, "How the fuck am I supposed to know that? It's pronounced Louisville, but it's Louisville." Shake and bake. Yeah, that was in a movie. It's called Backdraft, and yeah, we don't say that. We don't turn around and go, "Oh my God, there's no water. We're gonna shake and bake." No, we don't say that shit. Yeah, we just go, "It's getting, you." And first of all, you don't have time to fucking communicate like that. Dan Rose, man, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. What percentage of your pension do you get as a retired firefighter? How much a month? At that, I can't tell you because I don't know yet. But I get 50% of my pension. Right? I get 50%. I know some places they get like 80 or 60% or whatever it is. I only get 50%. So. But yeah, I wouldn't know what my amount is until I retire. But yeah. Yeah, the pension thing, it's fucking complex, man. You get on the job and you sign all those paperwork to get on the job, right? And then you become a fireman and you're like, yes, I'm a fireman. Now it's time for you to retire, and the paperwork you have to sign to retire is fucking ridiculous. I'm like, you kidding me? You guys are like, you are purposely keeping me on this job with all this paperwork that I gotta fucking fill out. It's bizarre. It's the most bizarre shit in the world. Charles, yes, I can. I can live on that. But I wouldn't. I retire. I wouldn't live in New York City on my pension. Almost a lot of firefighters leave New York State, let alone the city. The city, you wouldn't last too long. You would last a couple of years, but then you would have to leave. You have to go somewhere, fucking free and clear this bullshit. A lot of cops and firemen, they leave New York because they want their pension to go a long way elsewhere. They don't want to stay here. So, guys, other than that, please answer in the comment section, not in the chat. Do you think the next pope is going to bring upon the apocalypse? Yes, no, maybe so. Or just wait till I post the poll in the community board. You can also answer there, one or the other. But I'm just curious what people think. Because, listen, at this point, I really don't give a shit. If the end comes, either I'll go to heaven or I won't. And I'd rather go to heaven. But, if the end comes, fine. I'm not going to say great, fine. But if it doesn't, okay, even better. We don't know. We just don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Nobody knows. No, Firefly, I didn't get my blood work yet. I was going to get it, and then I figured out what my problem was. I am going to get a methylated test, right? A methylene blood test. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong. It's one or the other, right? So it's a test that breaks down everything your body utilizes and can't utilize. So it tests out like vitamins you need, vitamins you don't need. It'll figure out your diet for you. It's a $600 test, but it's a test well worth it. It tells you whether or not you need vitamin D or vitamin B, or you need to up your A, or what your body can't process. There are vitamins that our bodies cannot process. The individual person tells us that. The individual person has different needs. Right, so we all can't take vitamin B and D. Some of us need direct sunlight, right? So I think it's called a methylated test or methylene test. It's one of the two. But not a meth test, no. Because when you say that shit, the doctor's going to look at you like, are you fucking kidding me? Right, I think it's a methylated and methylene. But yes, the guy that runs the test, obviously he gives the test as well. He wants people to stay away from pharmaceutical drugs. That's the basis of this whole thing. The better you understand your body and the blueprint of your body, the better you can take care of yourself without all of the bullshit that's on the outside. Right? So he's trying to keep you away from pharmaceutical drugs. And to stay away from pharmaceutical drugs, you got to understand the breakdown of your body. Period. Methylene blood test. That's what it's called. Chief Dog, I retired and then I came back once the union told me I can come back. The union was like, hey, Negro, you want to be a fireman again? I was like, yes. And then I said yes, and then I immediately regretted it because I am too old for this bullshit. But yes, I came back to work because I won the fight. But plus, coming back with the new raise we got, it's going to put me in a different pension. My pension number is going to change. But sounds like methylated metabolic test. Thank you, Uptech Extreme. That's what it is. Methylated metabolic test. That's what it is. But that's a test that a lot of people should take if they can afford it. Your insurance will not cover it. I think you can ask your insurance company. They might cover it. But yeah, it's definitely something we can definitely do it. Bobby, no back pay. Patty, why did I regret it? Because it's a young man's game. It's a young man's game. I get off the rig like a fucking old man now. Everything hurts. I go to a fire. It takes me a week to recover instead of a couple days. Yeah, man. That's why I regret it. I went back to my first fire. I thought my heart was going to come out of my fucking throat. I thought I was going to puke up my heart. I was fucking like pulling ceilings and my heart to-doom, 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 to-doom. I'm like, holy shit, I'm not young anymore. So now getting back into shape, dropping weight again. I put weight back on after the bullshit I went through. I'm trying to drop weight again and trying to get to an operational weight. The operational weight of 270 is no good anymore. Can I still do what I need to do? Absolutely. But it's better if I'm lighter. Angry Movie Channel, I'll be bringing that back. Adam, I'm going to start working on some new shit next week. And also, guys, I'm headed over to the Angry Truth Channel. That's going to be about 15 minutes or so. We're going to talk about the bullshit and the lies that have been told to us over the last couple of years. Even the last couple of weeks. You aren't under 40. Aren't you under 40? No, Wanda, I'm 47 years old. 47 years old, Mackenzie, another 5 years, and then I'm done. Someone said you got seniority, milk it. I can't milk it with these young guys. They're all over me, man. They're all over me like spider monkeys. I can't fucking milk it. Every fucking chance they get, they're breaking my balls or trying to break my hips. You choose. But anyway, I'm going to head over to the Angry Truth Channel, guys. I will see a lot of you guys over there. I will see the other half of you guys, I think, Thursday night. I should have a doubleheader Thursday night. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it as always. Yeah, man. 47 is fucking, it's old for firefighting. But anyway, see some of you guys in the Angry Truth Channel. Thank you.